We live in a world that constantly clamors for our attention, pulling us into a whirlwind of external validation and emotional volatility. We are conditioned to believe that our happiness is contingent upon what happens to us, the praise we receive, the wealth we accumulate, and the fleeting nature of our moods. But the Stoics of antiquity, from Epictetus to Marcus Aurelius, understood a fundamental truth that remains ignored by the masses. The quality of your life is not determined by the world around you, but by the fortress you build within yourself. Today we are going to deconstruct the four pillars of Stoic mastery: your mouth, your mood, your money, and your mind, to help you cultivate an unshakable sense of peace and purpose. The discipline of speech. The first pillar is the mouth. In a culture of constant noise and impulsive commentary, the Stoic practices the art of intentional silence. Your words are the primary currency of your social existence, and yet most people spend them recklessly. Seneca reminds us that we have two ears and one mouth for a reason. To master your mouth is to master your influence. The discipline of speech begins with the pause. Before you speak, ask yourself three questions. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? If it fails any of these tests, silence is the superior choice. This is not about being timid or voiceless. It is about being precise. When you speak, speak with weight. When you do not have something of substance to contribute, remain still. By guarding your speech, you prevent yourself from becoming a slave to gossip, empty promises, and the need for external approval. You preserve your energy and command respect because when you finally do speak, your words carry the force of conviction rather than the hollowness of compulsion. True mastery of the mouth requires the recognition that language is a tool for clarity, not a weapon for aggression or a shield for insecurity. When we speak in anger, we surrender our power. When we speak to impress, we reveal our fragility. A Stoic speaks to inform, to assist, and to align with truth. By practicing silence, you cultivate a gravity of character. People begin to notice that you do not offer empty words. Your promises become bonds, and your counsel becomes sought after. Not because you are loud, but because your silence has earned the right for your words to be heard. You transform your speech from a nervous reflex into a deliberate instrument of your will. The sovereignty of emotion. The second pillar is the mood. Many believe that our emotions are something that happens to us, a weather system we are forced to endure. The Stoic perspective is different. Your mood is not a result of external events. It is a result of your judgments about those events. When something goes wrong, it is not the event that causes you distress. It is your belief that the event should not have happened that steals your peace. To master your mood, you must adopt the practice of objective representation. When a setback occurs, strip it of its emotional labels. If you lose a job, do not label it as a catastrophe. Label it as the loss of a position. If someone insults you, do not label it as an attack on my worth. Label it as a series of sounds that have no power over my character. By separating reality from your reaction, you reclaim your agency. You become the pilot of your emotional state, capable of maintaining tranquility even when the world around you is in chaos. You do not suppress your feelings, but you refuse to let them dictate your actions. The mastery of mood is the mastery of the gap, that split second between a stimulus and your response. In that gap, there is space to choose. When you feel the heat of anger or the cold grip of anxiety, remember that these are merely impulses. They are signals, not commands. You can observe your irritation as if you were watching a cloud pass in the sky. You acknowledge it, you categorize it, and you choose whether or not to give it a home in your mind. This is the ultimate freedom. By refusing to be swept away by the current of your shifting moods, you build an emotional stability that makes you untouchable by the trivialities of the day. You are no longer a victim of circumstance, but a master of your internal climate. The philosophy of detachment. The third pillar is money. We live in a society that fetishizes accumulation, equating net worth with human worth. The Stoic, however, treats money as a preferred indifferent. It is useful to have, it can facilitate virtue, and it can assist others, but it is not the source of your happiness. The danger lies not in the money itself, but in the attachment to it. To master your money, cultivate a spirit of radical detachment. Practice poverty periodically. Remind yourself that you can be content with bread and water. When you do this, you break the chains of fear that keep you trapped in toxic jobs or dishonest practices simply to sustain a lifestyle. If you possess wealth, use it with wisdom and generosity, knowing that fortune is fickle and can be reclaimed by fate at any moment. By maintaining a mindset of stewardship rather than ownership, you ensure that money remains your tool, not your master. You work for your purpose, not for the endless accumulation of things that will eventually own you. Detachment does not mean poverty, it means clarity. It means recognizing that the house you live in, the car you drive, and the bank account you maintain are external items. They can be lost in a day through economic shifts, bad luck, or the whims of time. But your character, your wisdom, and your ability to adapt are things that cannot be taken from you. When you detach your identity from your financial status, you eliminate the anxiety that comes with the pursuit of more. You are free to pursue excellence for its own sake. When you have money, you are a steward of it. When you lack it, you are unburdened by the need for it. This is the Stoic middle path. Using the world's resources without becoming enslaved by them. The inner citadel. The final pillar is the mind. This is the command center of your existence. Your mind is the only thing that is truly yours, the only thing that cannot be touched, harmed, or taken away by any tyrant or catastrophe. The inner citadel is a concept that describes your ability to retreat into your own reasoning, where you can find clarity, logic, and strength regardless of external circumstances. Mastering the mind requires the daily practice of reflection, the evening review. At the end of each day, sit in silence and examine your thoughts and deeds. Where did you lose your cool? Where did you speak without thinking? Where did you let your attachment to outcomes override your commitment to virtue? This is not an exercise in self-flagellation. It is an exercise in engineering. You are the architect of your own character. By continuously refining your faculty of judgment, you ensure that your mind remains sharp, resilient, and oriented toward the good. You learn to align your will with nature, accepting what you cannot change and focusing entirely on the one thing that truly matters, your own integrity. Your mind is a muscle that strengthens through the resistance of difficult thoughts and challenging circumstances. To master it, you must treat your internal world with the same rigor you would apply to your professional work. You must prune away the invasive weeds of regret, envy, and fear. You must cultivate the garden of your own reasoning. As you go about your day, remain present. Be mindful of where your thoughts wander. If they drift to the past with regret or to the future with anxiety, gently bring them back to the present moment, for it is only here, in the now, that you can exert your power. By safeguarding your mind, you ensure that even in the darkest of times, you possess an internal light that cannot be extinguished. The path to Stoic mastery is not a destination, it is a lifelong practice. You will fail, you will slip, and you will get distracted. And that is part of the process. The strength lies not in perfection, but in the relentless commitment to return to your principles. Guard your words, own your reactions, remain detached from the illusions of wealth, and protect the sanctity of your mind. By mastering these 4 pillars, you stop living at the mercy of chance and begin living by design. You become the master of your fate, and in doing so, you find a freedom that no circumstance can ever touch. If this message resonated with you and you want to continue building your inner strength, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Join our community as we explore the timeless wisdom of the ancients, and together let's keep our citadel strong. Thank you for walking this path with me. Go forth and live with intentionality.